Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Katha Upanishad, chapter 1, part 2, and we are looking, last week we saw the verse Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atmasya Jantor Nihito Guhayam Tamakratu Pashyati Vita Shoko Dhatu Prasadat Mahimanam Atmanaha. And here we were looking at that this reality, this which is that this Atman, this self, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. It is subtler than the subtlest, finer than the finest, and greater than the greatest, bigger than the biggest. And where is it? Atmasya Janto Nihito Guhayam, and it is the heart. It is the heart of every being, every creature. And Tamakradu Pashyati Vita Shoko. Here it is talked about that the person who is free from willing, free from desires, free from free from all sankalpas, free from wanting, such a person, he becomes free of all vita shoka. He becomes free from all afflictions and miseries, because as a result of freedom from desire, he gains the prasad, dhatu prasadan, mahimanam atmana. When we look at it from the devotional point of view, dhatu prasadat means the Lord benevolence, the Lord's grace, the Ishvara prasad. But here when that is from devotional people, the Ramanujacharyas, Madhvacharyas, they will explain that way. But how does Shankaracharya say? Shankaracharya says dhatu prasada. Dhatu is the senses, the mind, the fine material, what it is made up of. Dhatu is the material. And what is the prasad of this material? What is the grace of this material? That our senses become calm and tranquil. Our mind becomes calm and tranquil. When will our senses and mind and our body, senses, mind, when will it become tranquil? Only when we become free of desires. And this is not a very big out of the world achievement. Yes, when you think about it, oh my God, how can I be free of desires? But don't you become free of all desires when you go to sleep every night? If there is one desire lurking, you cannot go to sleep. So find out what you do or not do. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat, krita kritat, krita akrita. So what do you have to do or what you didn't do, that all the desires for the world left your mind? So you are already practicing it, but not aware of it. You have to catch it. All the answers are within you. And therefore, where are we? So dhatu prasadat, and prasad, prasad means blessings, prasad means grace. How, when How does, when all body, senses, mind, notions, sankalpas, emotions, what we see, hear, touch, feel, taste, all our pains and no pains, everything settles down. Everything settled down. That state of tranquility, that state of contentment, that is what comes. Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka Sampatti and Mumukshutvam. What is that Shatka Sampatti? 6 steps to contentment. Shama, control of mind. Dama, control of senses. Uparama, where the mind is not voluntarily not going out of the senses. Titiksha, happily enduring whatever life is throwing at such a person. And how does he deal with this? How does he interact with all this? With Shraddha, with faith. And what does it lead to? It leads to contentment. That contentment is this tranquility. See? So when there no stimuli is disturbing you, no sense, even if your senses are open, they are not interested in anything. Your mind is there, but it is not ready to go out of the senses to become the vision, to become the hearing capability, to become the smelling capability, etc. Or the mind does not want to feel anything. It does not want to feel anything from the objective world. There are no thoughts only erupting. See? Then a result of that, that is what happens then when everything is quietened, wherein we are not disturbed by, the eye is not disturbed by anything. Then the grace flows. And for this grace, till today, nobody has been able to write down what is this grace, what is this blessing, what is this, whether you call it Ishvara Prasad or, as Shankaracharya is explaining, Dhatu Prasadan, Mahimanam Atmanaha. And so what happens if we, Ishvara we understand. What is that? If we accept the world, then the creator of the world is that Ishvara, then his prasad comes to you. His grace flows to you. See? But Ishvara is not only outside, he is inside also. He is inside and outside equally. Just as the pot space is actually the space. So there is no difference between the space inside the pot and the space outside the pot. See? So the grace, when we look outside and our attention is on the creator of the creation, then we say grace from outside. But when we discover that divinity within our heart as our essence, it is always there. There has never been a moment that it has not been there. Then it becomes available when everything calms down. It becomes available. And in this manner, our efforts, our willingness, our desires, they are obstacles to this revelation of grace, which is our essential nature. See, God's grace, the inner, and God is inside outside. It only unfurls itself when all efforts cease. Sleep only comes when all efforts cease. If you can recreate that condition without allowing the mind to sleep, but you remain awake, you are there. Nothing more to be achieved after that. And in this way, the the as I said, that that through the tranquility of calmness of the uh, unshakingness, akampan yoga. Akampan means non-shaking yoga. So body is not shaking, senses are not shaking or vibrating or going in and out, close, open, close, open, close, open. No. The mind is not going out, coming in, going out, coming in. See? Dhatu prasadat, the tranquility of the substances. And what do these substances do? When this consciousness that I am, the Atman that I am, the spirit that I am, the awareness that I am, when I give value and importance to these substances, personality crystallizes. When substances are calmed down, meaning when no value is given to these substances, what were the substances? Body, senses, breath, mind, convictions, etc., etc. When you are not giving them value, they will calm down. These substances create their momentum only because we give them attention. The I gives them attention. You withdraw that attention, Chin Mudra. You withdraw the attention. Be interested in the self. Be interested in the essence. Be interested in the source. No, I have to control my senses. You are giving attention to the senses. I have to sit still. You are giving attention to your body. See? Yesterday we were chanting what? Ishavasya Upanishad Ghanapat, 1 hour. And after chanting full throttle, and after all that chanting 1.5 hours, we did some other things after that, also Ghanapat. And then there was total stillness. Nobody wanted to talk. Nobody wanted to sneeze. Nobody wanted to move. We were locked into position wherever we were, and the mind was naturally empty after that chant. Naturally. No efforts required. No, but you put the efforts before. Yeah, I didn't say that we were quiet. Before for 1.5 hours, we put complete full attention on every up and down and neutral in the Vedic chanting. 1.5 hours of concentration. That concentration is possible only when you relax from within. One mistake and you will lose the plot. And when that naturally came to a conclusion, the silence continued. Before, the silence was with the words. Now there is silence without words. And one of the ladies, she was completely absorbed in it for 10 minutes. She was in there. And when she came out, the mind clicked in. And the moment mind clicked in, Swamiji, I couldn't feel my body. Swamiji, I couldn't feel my breath. It wasn't even going in nor it was going out. There was no thought in the mind. Is that right or something wrong going on? I said, don't you hear satsangs? Yes. That is where you have to get to. That is who you are. The one who knows that all this is, that there is nothing and yet everything. In whose presence all this is going on? That the who is this person who knows body is not moving, breath is not moving, mind is not moving? You are that Tattvamasi. But we are so habituated to doubt what is happening. Are we going crazy? Are we losing the plot? Is that natural what is happening? Why ask questions? Assess yourself. If it is peaceful, it is good. See? So, this grace, this tranquility, it leads you to total absorption, leads you to the universal consciousness. And in this way, when the entire personality settles down, dhatu settles down, dhatu prasadat, the personality becomes tranquil, it no more shows its horns. That is the moment. That is the moment the entire, what do you call, the person, the seeker, he becomes focused on the consciousness, because no more personality. Then there is no I am the seer, I am the meditator, I am the seeker, I am the contemplator, nothing. All these ers are the personality. Everything is quiet and tranquil, calm, peace. Maunam vyakhyat prakatita parabrahma tattvam yuvanam. Dakshinamurti also teaches with silence, tranquil silence, eloquent silence. Karakalita chinmudra anandamurtim. Swatma Ramam. He is ever absorbed in Swa Atma, reveling in his own Atma, in silence, which is not opposed to activity or no activity, which is not opposed to manifestation or unmanifestation, which is not opposed to doing or not doing, but there is no doer. Activity may happen. And how is he? Karakalita Chinmudra Anandamurtim. And how is he teaching? He is teaching with the Chinmudra. See? This is the dhatu. Dhatu has calmed down. Whether it is calmed down or it is active, this fellow is not giving any value and importance and attention to all these. When there is no impact of these three, senses, breath, mind, on the I, on the self, then I becomes available to the infinite consciousness. That is its nature. And it is not that it is meeting only then the realization takes place. The the space in the pot and the outside space are ever one. That is the grace. That is the realization of the pot space. The water in the wave and the infinite waters are one. Then what was big problem before? I am only this form. Attention was not on the water. When will attention on the water come? When the personality settles down. We become immune to it. And thus, this is how our Adi Shankaracharya explains that either we can say the God is everything, or or the God is expressing from within, and he expresses as the grace, and that grace, that last week I told you that outside is the glory of the divine, and that divine within is the Atman, is the infinite self. And whether the grace comes from outside or grace comes from, it's one and the same. And these things, there is no answer. This event is the grace, you cannot say that. Because of this is the grace, you cannot say that. Anirvachaniya, it's inexplicable. There is no definition for this grace, for this blessing. Now, the next verse is told. We looked at the bhashya also of this one. Now, 21st verse. Anyatha durvigneyo ayam atma kamibihi prakruta purushaihi yasmat. Durvigneya, otherwise, anyatha, otherwise, durvigneyo ayam atma kamibihi. What do you call? Durvigneya means unintelligent people, buddhu. Another easy word, buddhu. Stupid people. And who are these stupid people? Yes, we have to define. Stupid people are those who have one desire after the other to be fulfilled in this world. They are the buddhu ones. For them, it is very difficult to be known. Because, yasmat, because, asino duram vrajati, asino duram vrajati, shayano yati sarvataha, shayano yati sarvataha, kastam madamadam devam, kastam de madamadam devam, yadanyo jnatumarhati, yadanyo jnatumarhati. Together. आसीनो दूरं व्रजति शयानो याति सर्वतः कस्तं मदमदं देवं यदन्यो ज्ञातुमर्हति. आसीनो दूरं. So what does he say here? Asino duram vrajati. While sitting, it travels far away. Why it is difficult for the stupid people or unintelligent people to know the Atman? We told you, because they are continuously having desire. Desire can only be for something other than the one who is desiring. If you desire the self, one day that desire will go away. But when we have desire for the world, there are infinite number of objects in the world. We have never been satisfied, yet we keep running after it. And why they cannot come to know the truth, the pure consciousness that they are? Because this truth, this Atman, this conscious principle, while sitting, it travels far away. This is its unique character. While sitting, it travels far away. Shayano yati sarvataha. While sleeping, it goes everywhere. Arey, how can that be possible? ऐसे ही होता है. For that, you require special conditioning. And that conditioning was told in the previous verse. What was that? You have to be desire free. Kastam madamadam devam. But kaha. Kaha means who but tam madamadam devam. So who but me or I know that divine who is both joyful and joyless? Remember one of the verses, I think last verse or the one before I told you. What is that? What is the how does liberation express in our life? How does liberation express in our life? You are in love with the world 110%. You are in love with the entire world 110%, unconditionally, without attachment. This is the this is how a realized master functions in life. What do we love the most? Ourselves. Now here realize that the self is all that there is. This whole world is in the self alone, just like the dream is in the mind alone. So, because he loves himself, he has come to know who he is in essence, and that essence is not separate to the essence of the whole world. So, he loves the whole world. I love myself too. Why? You love yourself as a father, as a mother, as a daughter, as a body, as a dancer, as a whatever, some role, some personality, some persona. You don't love yourself as you are. That's where the shortcoming is. The moment we come to love ourselves as we are, everyone loves themselves, no doubt. But when we come to correct uh, uh, assessment of ourselves, which is the pure self, which is free of everything, when the grace has revealed the true self, dhatu prasadat, then we will love the whole world unconditionally, and we will be unattached to the world also. This is how we have to be. But who but I can know that deity who is both joyful and joyless? So there is absolute love, yet there is no love. What is that absolute love? Love without attachment is unconditional love. What is our love? I love my son. I love my daughter. What is you are attached to them. That's why. If your love if your love for the son born from your body, that love is equal to every person in this world, then it is unconditional. But we all have a hook in everything. See? So asino duram brajati, shayano yati sarvatah, kastam madamadam devam madanyo nyatumarhati. Let's look at the Bhashya. It says, asino avasthitaha achala eva sanduram brajati. Asina, avasthita. Achal means unmoving. Chala means moving. Achal means unmoving. Even though unmoving, asinaha, sitting, remaining stationary, unmoving. Eva san duram vrajati. Duram vrajati, it goes far. And shayano yati sarvata evamasavatma devaha mada amadaha samadaha amadascha saharsho harshascha viruddha dharmau anataha अशक्यत्वात् ज्ञातुं कह तं मदमदं देवं मदन्यो ज्ञातुर्मर्हति मदन्यः ज्ञातुर्मर्हति. And the second example that was there, that even though it is while it is sleeping, shayanaha, even though it is sleeping, it goes everywhere. Yati goes sarvataha, everywhere. It's like you are sitting in the train and you are reaching Sydney. You did not move. You are sitting in one place. You are still sitting in your own chair in the same train, but you have reached Sydney. Miracle. Miracle. Sit in yourself and you are everywhere. See, we'll explain that. So here what is told is that lying in one place, lying down in one place, he goes everywhere. He does not move even a little bit. See, when I say, think of, let's go to, where we should say, let's go to Badrinath, let's go to Mumbai, let's go to states, let's go to the moon. How long does it take you to go to moon? Bring the picture of the moon in front of your eyes and you're finding that landing is very hard. You are not able to walk on the moon. You're still trying to work it out in your mind. If I say, let's go to the heavens, if I say, let's go to Brahmalok, the creator, whenever I made a suggestion, let's go there, let's go here, let's go there, before you get there, Atma, the spirit, is already there. The conscious self is already there. This is what is told, that's lying in one place, it goes everywhere. And so what is this? This Atman, this reality, this truth, this consciousness, it is that center whose center is everywhere. Whose center is everywhere. What will be the second part? Whose center is everywhere, but circumference nowhere. You are that. And where have we decided our center is? Inside this body. That miserable existence. We have crystallized our location. What is our true nature? Center everywhere, circumference nowhere. And how are we behaving? Circumference only this body. And center only inside this body. That also we have not been able to find out till now. There is continuous debate. Is the life expressing through the heart or is it expressing through the mind? And some stupid fellows say, oh, from the brain life is expressing. Lage raho, keep going on. Good luck. And who are you? Don't get lost. Don't get lost in mind. Don't get lost in intellect. Don't get lost in brain. Don't get lost in body. Don't get lost in breath. For the truth is, you are everywhere. Infinite means center everywhere, circumference nowhere. That is what infinite is. What is the closest thing to it? Space, center everywhere, circumference nowhere. See? And you are subtler than space. You are the one who knows the space. So you are even subtler. We cannot describe this in words, and whatever we whatever language we utilize to explain this reality, it always falls short because words have their own limitations. And the best way it can be explained is through the Sanskrit language. Each word, 100 words put together in English, does not justify that one word in Sanskrit. What to do? But we have to continue talking, continue speaking, continue contemplating in this manner. Then who can know? Baap re, it sits in one place and moves everywhere, and it sleeps in one place and goes far. Then who can come to know this person? Who can come to know this Atman? Who can know this reality which is beyond righteousness, unrighteousness, cause and effect, beyond doing and undoing, beyond past and future? Remember, it started from there. That was the question. Now, Dharmraj, the Lord of Death, says, who can know the Atman? He says, only the blessed ones can come to know. And who are these blessed ones? Blessed ones like me. Who but I? Who has been graced? See, it's not a statement of arrogance. It's not an egoistic statement. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Bhagavan says, Maya arpito mano buddhihi. So many times, give your mind to me. Ananyas chintayanto mam. To the exclusion of everything, you contemplate on me, and I'll take care of everything. These are not egoistic statements. These are not top of the head statements. These are not arrogant statements. This is the these statements are coming out of the realization or the disposition of Lord Sri Krishna, who is abiding in the truth as it is explained here. He knows that he is the one, asino duram brajati shayano yati sarvata. He has got no doubt about that. And therefore he can say that. And why is he saying, why don't you focus on anything? Because Arjuna is looking up to him. Something that you believe in, something you have faith in, something you look up to, that should be your point of focus. If you are a devotee of Ram and now you say, no, you have to chant Om Namah Shivaya, that is doing disservice. Encourage that person to know the reality through Ram. See? So here he says that who but I, or who are the blessed ones? Blessed ones are like me, who have access to that reality, who have access. Or when we say Sagun, then who but me has the access to the Ishvara in that sense. From relativity point of view, the maximum you can go in relativity is Hiranyagarbha. He knows it. Who? The Lord of Death. So who is this God? Who is this Spirit? Who is this Atman? Here it is told. What is that? Yadanyo jnatu Ah, who is this truth? What is this truth? It is that truth which is beyond mad amada. Mad is joy and amada is lack of joy. So it is beyond that it is that principle, that essence which enjoys and yet does not enjoy. How does it do both the things at the same time? Get there and find out. Be that and find out. Why get there? Be that and find out. How do we first find out how Nachiketa reached the Lord Death? Then these questions, then this is the next exercise. First, get to the Lord Death first. Nachiketa did. His father said he reached. We are only wishing. We are only waiting. We are afraid of that moment. Sort yourself out. Invoke Nachiketa within you. Excuse me. So who is he? Who is this God? Who is Devam? Devam is the divine. Devam is the effulgence. Devam is the divinity. Who is he? Who is full of joy and yet joyless. In other words, he is subject as well as the object. See? Who is within and without. In this way, we so our what do you call Lord of Death is explaining to our Nachiket. So all these limitations. What are the limitations? Space, time, objectivity, and when the one light, the white light, is expressing through the prism, it expresses as the various colors. It crystallizes into multiple colors, even though one appearing as multiple colors. Similarly, that only a integrated mind, only the integrated person. And who is this integrated person? A wise man. Who is the Lord of Death? A wise man. So only an integrated person can see that one light in spite of the various colors that are expressing. So wise man has taken a step outside. He sees the white light and he sees the Vipgari color. The wise man has stepped outside. He sees the self expressing as the subject and the object. The wise man sees the self being inside as well as the outside, meaning it is seamless. See? And with these statements that it is inside as well as outside, it is sitting in one place and moving everywhere, etc., etc., as this verse tells, that it is the subject as well as the object. Yeah, so it becomes difficult to explain to the seeker that you are that. See? And that difficulty that we are experiencing at this moment, if we are experiencing, I hope not, That experience is only, that difficulty is only on account of our desire to understand, our desire to be clear, our desire to, the more you remain in, why you want to understand? Because right now you are not understanding it, misunderstanding it, or not understanding. Our mind is blank, and you don't like your mind blank. You want understanding to take place, thoughts to come and go, some realization to happen, something untoward must happen. This is desire. All this must calm down. All this must calm down. So I gave you that example of the lady listening to the chant after the chanting. Exactly like that. Immediately the mind clicks in. What happened to me? I don't know. No, nothing happened. It was the best thing that happened. But we are so besotted, we are so attached to our uh, desires, we are so attached to our body, we are so attached uh, to the norm that we, my room, my husband, my children, my table, my sofa, my chair, my bed, my body, my breath, my mind. Everything is crystallized, crystallized, crystallized. That one window of opportunity came unasked. You just oriented your mind towards that. That window opened. In that moment of quietness, the mind became calm. Infinity revealed itself. The infinite pure consciousness revealed itself. That itself is grace. But what do we do? The moment it reveals, put the top, put the Dakkan on top, close it again. How? By asking questions, by doubting what has just happened, which is your natural state. But for us, this is natural. Going to bed is natural. Being the body is natural. Thinking is natural. That is the true nature, natural. Samadhi is more natural than waking dream deep sleep. See? So when the senses, the mind, the intellect, all of them become ineffective in luring the consciousness uh, to give them attention, huh? That's when sleep comes. Remain conscious at that time. See? Then, when you are awake in that moment, then you are everywhere. There's no place that you are not. Don't doubt it. We think we are only this person. This person means we are having this contour, means we are occupying this much space, means this is our boundary. This is the boundary of my consciousness. What? Where the skin meets the space, that is the boundary of my consciousness. How limited, how limited, how constricting. A person, if he wears one smaller size shoe, how constricting it is. How will be the walk of such a person? He'll be only dancing because he can't put the foot straight down because it's tight from all sides, size small. Imagine yourself of the nature of infinite functioning through a shoe called the body, which is finite. That funny personality which expresses funny behavior is called the individual. So let go. And you do every day in sleep, you do let go. Do it consciously. So in this way, आसीनो दूरं व्रजति शयानो याति सर्वतः कस्तं मदमदं देवं यदन्यो ज्ञातुमर्हति. कस्तं मद अमदं देवं मदन्यो ज्ञातुमर्हति. ज्ञातुमर्हति. Oh, who else can know it other than me? Who is beyond mother and amada, beyond joy and joylessness. See? So then, how should we function in life? Don't get too excited. Don't in life. When you have to something has tickled you, smile. That is Rakshasa laughter, demonic laughter. Have the elegance. Everything do it with equanimity. Nothing should be done too less, nothing should be done too much. Such should be our disposition. See? And these things you don't have to practice, they will come. You remain focused on, you are that who is without any boundaries. So here, Lord Death is telling Nachiket, I am that. Who other than me will know? Who other than me will knows has access to the Atman, the infinite self, which is having all these characters, Asino Duram Rajati, Shayano Yati Sarvataha, Madam Adam Devam. All that is me. 21. Let me see which. Let's go to 22. 22. Which page are we on, man? 75, 76. The discussion continues. अस्मद् आदेः एव सूक्ष्म बुद्धेः पंडितस्य सुविज्ञेयः अयम आत्मा स्थिति गति नित्य अनित्य आदि विरुद्ध अनेक धर्म उपाधिकत्वाद विरुद्ध धर्मत्वाद विश्वरूप इव चिंतामणि वद अवभासते. So here he is talking about that part of the verse which said that Jnatum arhati. So here he says that this Atma, for the people like us. Lord Death is speaking. This Atma for the people like us. Who are people like us? Who are having very subtle intellect, very fine intellect, which can sift through all the gross and subtle and causal, and is able to go beyond. To such intelligent us, it is only available to such people. स्थिति गति नित्य अनित्य आदि विरुद्ध अनेक धर्म उपाधिकत्वात्. So sthiti, gati, stationary or moving, nitya and anitya, eternal or non-eternal, etc. अनेक विरुद्ध धर्म उपाधित्वा, what was it? अनेक धर्म उपाधिकत्वाद. अनेक विरुद्ध धर्म रूप, meaning it is that which takes the which is the same in all opposites. Whether you are awake, it is you. Whether you are sleeping, it is you. Is waking and sleep the same? No, they are opposite to each other. Sunrise and sunset. Here the sun is rising, there the sun is setting. But sun supporting both the opposites, unaffected by both the opposites, but appearing as opposites. Same way, what are the opposites within us? This is the question we must ask. Subject and object. What have we taken ourselves to be? The subject. Who are we? The one who is other than, transcendental to, but supporting the subject and the object. Think. What is I? Is it affected by if it is open or if it is closed? It doesn't matter. I is I. Whether it is open or it is closed, it doesn't stop being the I. Whether the mind is thinking or not thinking, mind doesn't stop being the mind. Think out of the box. This is called Sukshma Buddhi. Refined thinking, contemplation. This comes about only when integrity within us is there. Integrity of head and heart. How do you bring that about? Contemplate like Nachiket. Have no doubt about your nature. Do some exercise. Chant or contemplate on these verses, in the previous verses. It will bring you to this point. So, on one hand, it is stationary and moving, it is eternal and non-eternal, etc., and variety of opposite characters and conditionings it has. I just explained that. Also, viprita dharma, dharmavatvad, vishwarupaiva, and it is also having opposite dharma. It is possessing opposite dharma, and as such, because it is supporting all, it appears to be appearing, expressing as the opposites, and this is how it is experienced as the world Vishwarup, It is experienced as the world of opposites. Everything in this world, there is an opposite. There is top, there is bottom, there is back, there is front, there is inside, there is outside. There is darkness, there is light, there is subject, there is object. There is what you call hunger, no hunger. There is love, there is no love. There is hatred, there is no hatred. For everything there is an opposite. Sat, asat, chit, achit, anand, dukkham. Science is also discovering quark, negative quark, positive quark. Negative ion, positive ion. Electricity also, positive and negative. Two wires till they don't come together. Is the electricity negative or positive? No. But without negative and positive, electricity cannot express as light. Is light electricity? No. Is electricity light? Yes and no. It supports all the lights, but itself is transcendental to all light. In that light, what do you see? You see the whole world. The sun appears as light, but the science says the light of the sun is not the sunlight that you see. In the space there is no light, it is dark light. Then what are you seeing? The sunlight, bright rays. That is because it is reflecting on the particles in the atmosphere. Therefore you are seeing it. It's a reflection that you are seeing, not the original light. Original light is dark, no color. Ayo, this is too much to understand. Good. We told you, Atma is very difficult to understand. Understanding happens in intellect. Atma is beyond intellect. Very rare few people who have refined their intellect, they can understand. Then are we wasting our time? No. And yes. Why yes, wasting time? If you are not understanding, trying to understand, you are trying to understand objectively. As long as your approach is objective, there can never be a solution. And when your approach is subjective, you don't need a solution because you are the solution to yourself. Think. The wave looking outside for water will never find water. It will find other waves, other oceans, other tsunamis ready to devour it. Can it stop it? Never. When it goes in, looks at itself, it is already water. You know it. I know it. Wave doesn't know it. So in our life, scriptures are telling us, Guru Maharaj is telling us, here the Lord of Death is telling us, or we are not accepting. He can see clearly. Yeah. विश्वरूप इव चिंतामणि मणिवद अवभासते अतः दुर्ज्ञेयत्वं दर्शयति कह तं मदन्यः ज्ञातुमर्हति इति. Therefore, other than me, who else is capable or qualified to know it? Saying this, the word Durvigneya is being explained, the last word of the verse. Karananam upashamaha shayanam karana janita syaihi tasyaika जनितस्य एकदेशविज्ञानस्य उपशमः शयानस्य भवति. Now here he is talking about that karananam upashamaha. Shama, you understood, control of mind. Upashama, they are very quiet. So who are these karananam? Is it just not only there, all the senses have gone to sleep. They have become very quiet. Upashamaha shayanam. So understand shayanam, sleeping, as upashama. Withdraw. Completely quietened, tranquil, undisturbed, unagitated, no vibrant, not vibrant. They have gone to sleep. Who? Indriyas. Indriyas means all the senses. You can include mind in it also. 5 senses and the mind, 6 senses. So, a person who is sleeping here, the example that is taken is that when we are awake, right now, you are specifically available at a particular location, at a particular time, in a particular environment, being a specific person, a seeker, a listener, a seer, an understander, whatever. So, you have got crystallized into a personality at this moment. And once this moment is over, next moment will begin. Again, you are the same. Whether it is a mother, whether it is a father, whether it is a daughter, whether it is a whatever role that you are playing, including waker and dreamer, all crystallized positions. But when we go to sleep, there is no crystallization. Why? Because there is no mind. Think. So suddenly the mind becomes expansive. So that's what is told here, that a sleeping person, he becomes free from the senses which are rooted to specificity. Your eyes are seeing that this is the body. Your ears are listening to these words and so on. So they have accepted, I am in the waking world. You don't say that I am in the dream right now. You don't say I am sleeping. You have become specific. You have become at the worldly level, you have become the waker. You have accepted yourself as a waker. And within that, then waker again becomes more specified. He becomes a seer, he becomes a hearer, toucher, feeler, taster, seeker, father, mother, daughter, sister, all all these are specificities. All these are specificities. All these specificities are missing when you go to sleep. There is no erring personality. So all that knowledge of specificity through the 5 senses and the mind becomes quietened, upashamaha, in sleep. So that quietening down of the senses, 5 senses and the mind, quietening down of these 6 is called sleep. Is that not your observation about your sleep? You can't see, hear, touch, feel, taste, think. You got no past, present, future. You are not in this world or other world. You are not in any heaven or hell. Nothing. यदा च एवं केवल सामान्य सामान्य विज्ञानत्वात् सर्वतः यत यातीव यदा विशेष विज्ञानस्थः स्वेन रूपेण स्थित एव सन्मन आदि गतिषु तद उपाधिकत्वात् दूरं व्रजतीव. He says, at this time the condition is such that there is only general knowledge but not specific knowledge. Meaning what? The general knowledge is that he is everywhere. His mind is everywhere. It is not rooted to any specific object. It is not rooted to specific time. It is not rooted to specific space. Right now you are rooted to house space, your room space. If you want to go more closer, you are rooted to in body space or mind space. You are rooted in time right now, that it is this time. Immediately after the satsang is over, oh, it's time to go to sleep. And you are rooted in objectivity. So here he is saying that in sleep you are not rooted in anything. There is no space as you know it here. There is no time and there is no objectivity. The result is what? The mind expands. It moves everywhere freely. There is no end to it. There is no blockage. There is no deterrent. If you put a dam, what happens? All the water gets collected behind the dam wall. Is there any dam here? No. In sleep, is there anything blocking the expanse of consciousness or the expanse of the mind? No. There are no blockages. There are no obstacles along the way. So it is considered that if you observe your own experience every night, that when your senses and mind become quiet, your mind, your mind meaning your consciousness, you, the consciousness, you are not stuck anywhere, you are present everywhere. And when it is stuck in specific knowledge, then it remains unmoving. Then it is unable to move everywhere. See, what do you want to do? You want to explore the world with the body. What do you want to do? You want to explore space with the body. Now they want to go and live on the moon with the body. They want to go and live on the Mars with the body. Then they will find something else. They will do interstellar travel also with the body. This is specific. So there is a limitation when we consider ourselves to be a specific person. There is a limitation. When you consider yourself to be a mother of your child, you are limiting yourself. Your love is limited only up to your child. But Ammaji, Amritanandmayi Ma, or any other saint, they are not limiting. Their love is equally for all. So Jagat Janani, Jagat Mata, she is the universal mother. Everyone in this universe is her child. She has equal love for everyone. Expanded consciousness. But in general, a mother, so that is general consciousness. A saint's consciousness is general consciousness. You are also conscious, but it is specific consciousness. My child. Why don't you use that my and expand it? My world. Then every person in this world is my child. Then there's no difference between you and God. That's your potentiality. That is possible in this lifetime. So even though Atma, the self, the spirit, the pure consciousness is the general consciousness, is the infinite consciousness. But when that consciousness, when it gives importance to specific knowledge, specific thought, specific emotion, specific knowledge, specific sense, specific body, specific space, specific time, specific object, it crystallizes itself and is unable to expand, is unable to experience its true nature, which is being everywhere, which is general consciousness. And what have we made ourselves? Specific consciousness. Who are we? Who knows? Waking, dream, and deep sleep come and go every day. The one who knows is the general consciousness. But who do you live as? I am the waker, specific consciousness. We don't stop there. Within the waker, I am the father, or I am this body, even more specific consciousness. Then not only as the body, further downfall. I am the father, I am the mother, I am happy, I am sad, I am depressed, I am excited. See, understand this is how the consciousness, which is by nature general means center everywhere, circumference nowhere, that is general. How is that possible? When either in sleep also it is so, but you don't know it. If you remain awake, that is who you are. If you remain awake in sleep, that is who you are. Center everywhere, circumference nowhere. But when we become aware of objectivity, space-time objectivity, we become specific. And that specificity does not allow us to remain general. It it constricts us, it binds us, it stops us from expanding. Yet nature is pushing you. From childhood till youth, you are expanding. Knowledge is expanding. Here you are in satsang, your understanding is expanding. But if you remain dependent on this, then it will not expand. All this teaching is so that you recognize that you are the general one. You are the basis. You are the substratum. You are that Atman. You are that consciousness. So it appears that way, huh? So it appears in, here two examples are taken. In sleep, the self or the consciousness appears to be general without any boundary, and in waking or dream, that same consciousness appears to be specific. But in reality, yeah, here, where are we? स च इहैव वर्तते. So actually, saha, he actually remains in one place only. He doesn't go anywhere. Neither he has become expanded nor has he become specified. It supports both, but it is independent, because it appears to be expanded without any boundaries in sleep. It seems to be limited in waking or dream. But who is this? What is this? What is the nature of this consciousness? It is in one place. It has neither gone anywhere nor it has withdrawn from anything. The sun has neither gone down nor has it risen. You have not gone anywhere. You have not become a waker, you have not become a dreamer, you have not become a sleeper. It is an appearance. It appears to be so. It's not the reality. You cannot have that also reality and the self also. There will be two realities. That is not possible. So what is the status of this world? Waking, dream, deep sleep. Expanded consciousness and specified consciousness, which appears. What is its status? Don't give attention to it. You be the one who is other, who is the constant one. Because sleep also ends after some time. Waking and dream also end after some time. So whatever ends, how can it be the permanent one? So all this is possible. Here before, when it was told that so with this background of knowledge, this is all the explanation by Shankaracharya. This is the Sambandha Bhashya. And the Lord of Death is saying, who but me knows this? All this that was explained. I have the capacity, I have the subtlety where the self reveals itself to me. I have access to it. A common person who is only in waking, dream and deep sleep does not have access to it. If someone is objective in his approach, he does not have access to it, access to the self, the Atman. And in this manner, the 21st verse conclude. Such is this Dharma Raja. He is the fortunate person. He who has the knowledge of the truth in its essential, in its true form, in its true nature. Tad vijnanacha shokatyaya iti api darshayati. Now what is going to be shown is that when we come to know the self, when we come to know the pure consciousness, the Atman, the spirit, it leads to the end of all miseries in our life. And that will be told in our next verse. And that is, we'll just chant the mantra and then conclude. Ashariram sharireshu, ashariram sharireshu, what is that? अनवस्थेष्वस्थितम् अनवस्थेष्वस्थितम् महान्तं विभुमात्मानं महान्तं विभुमात्मानं मत्वा धीरो न शोचति मत्वा धीरो न शोचति टुगेदर अशरीरं शरीरेषु अनवस्थेष्वस्थितं महान्तं विभुमात्मानं मत्वा धीरो न शोचति ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ